about? Well, I was just about to change my belt on my Energy, you know, my little belt sander and my disc combo. But before I get to it, just kindly click like and subscribe. Yes, this little machine here, I've had it donkey's years. This is a CD one, and it's only a Chinese kind of import thing. But I have to admit, I probably had this probably 20 years, 15, 20 years, a long while anyway. Didn't pay a lot for it either. But anyway, this particular machine has a 6-inch belt and a 9-inch disc. Well, I'm not going to change the 9-inch disc at the moment because I don't use it very much other than, well, more like sharp mature bits really, instead of the grinder because it's flat. But this disc here needs change. It's got a hole in it and it's pretty well worn, and I didn't realise I had some spares. So I thought I'd stick it on, and while I was doing it, I thought, oh, why not make a video? So, this disc here, right, this belt, you know, you can't wear it. You try, but you can't really wear it. And here you've got little arrows. You see those little arrows? That is the direction the belt should travel in. Pretty obvious, really. And this particular belt here travels in this direction. Now, the reason why you got these little arrows is because of this join. So there's a bonded join here, and one part of the joint laps over the top of the other. And if it goes in that direction, in the sense the lap is on the top, what will happen is it can stuff get caught underneath it and rip the belt apart, which obviously is not very helpful because you have a broken belt, and then you've got to start all over again. Well, this particular belt here, like I said, it's got the arrows, and in this case it's saying at the moment the arrows are going this way. So that tells me that this belt needs to go arrows, 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 that way, yeah, needs to go on there like that. So then you don't catch the joint, you effectively lap in the top of the joint instead of actually trying to hook underneath it. So to do that, what we have to do is we've got these two little locks on the side here. You have to slacken them off, which I've already done, and then you slacken off the adjusters, which basically adjust this end roller for tracking. So what we're going to do is we're going to slacken that all off to put that right in. And that's effectively made this belt slack. Oh, you got a slack belt. What's my belt slack? Anyway, check that one out of the way. That's pretty much knackered. Because of what I use it for. I don't generally use this for wood. I use it for actually sharpening my planer knives. Yeah, my planer knives. So we're going to plonk that on there like so, knowing that that travels in that direction. In fact, it goes that way, in that direction, so that's got to go that way round. So I'm just double check on here, making sure. Yep, that's correct. So I can see from the actual, you probably see it on there actually. If you can see that joint, there's one part is kind of bonded on top of the other part. So if you look on the back here, I can see that this part here, this part face here, is on top of there. I can feel it as a ridge, and then this side here would be in the opposite direction. So effectively, that needs to travel in that direction, and that's why you have the arrows. So I'm going to plonk that on here. Double check again. Going that way, so I know that those arrows need to go that way round. So we slide it over the end of our rollers. Excuse the mess, because I've had a bit of a sort out, and I haven't really got into any kind of, well, I'm not tidy yet, basically. I'm not very tidy anyway, to be honest. My main workshop's okay, but keeping that tidy is quite difficult. There you go, I'll slide it over the top here like that, like a condom. But just don't squeeze the end. Right, that's on. I don't know why I said that. So that is pretty much on, and now it's travelling in that direction, as you can see, but it's still slack. So what do we have to do? We have to tension the belt, and this is pretty much the same on hand belt sanders as well, like the 4-inch or 3-inch. I've got two. I've got a 3-inch Bosch, and I've got my 4-inch Hitachi, which is a nice little machine, except it needs a new bearing. And so what we have to do is we have to first tighten this belt. We do that with these two rollers. Let's bring it a bit closer just so you can see. Ding, 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 ding. We have two rollers there. There's one here, and to tension it, and we've got one on the other side. In fact, what that does is that pushes against here, and then that'll push this roller out. So if I do that, what have we done here? That's gone a bit. And that pushes the roller out. But the problem, the problem is, I'm trying holding it and doing it at the same time. The problem is, obviously, I'm pushing on one side of the roller, so you've got to think about the other side. So we're going to push it on the other side of the roller. And what that'll do is that'll push the roller out that way. So effectively, you're kind of crabbing it backwards and forwards, until eventually the belt becomes nice and tight. But once you've actually done that, you then have to think about tracking. Well, let's get that belt tight first so it kind of stays on there. And don't worry about where it sits at the moment, because you aren't really going to know until you turn the flipping thing on. Oh, sunny day today. It's cold, but it's sunny. So we're going to stick that on here like that. Whap, whap. It's getting tighter, but it's not tight enough yet. So I'm fiddling far back. I'm trying to hold the camera at the same time. Okay, that's on there like so. What I'm going to quickly do, I'm going to turn it on and just see what happens to the belt. Just put your back here and you should be able to see the effect. And can you see what happened there? The belt moved that way. And because it moved that way, what we need to do is tighten the roller up on this edge. And what that'll do is that'll track the belt back again. So effectively this is too tight and that's not tight enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the not tight enough. So we're going to tighten that one up. Let's put you back there for a second. There you go. That's a good idea. Isn't that easier? Right, so we're going to tighten that up. And what that'll do is, by tightening that up and pushing that roller that way, away from that corner, it should bring the belt back in line again. So just have a look. It's not quite enough yet. So a bit more on that roller. There is actually holes in the roller. You can use a like a little bar, and you can actually put a bit more force that way. Loosen that one there a bit. See what happens now. I don't know if you saw that, but that actually started moving this way towards me, because now that is looser hair, or the roller effectively has pushed that way. So that part of the end of the roller is pushed this way, and this part of the roller effectively is pushed outwards. Not quite enough yet. See if we can get it a little bit more central. What you want to see is you want to see the edge of the roller protruding, so it's not actually like trying to fold over the edge of the roller. So it ain't quite enough yet. Do a little Tommy bar in there really, just to turn that roller. Because I'll show you. On this particular model, we have these little holes on the ends of these knurled nuts, and it allows you to put something in there like a screwdriver or like a little Tommy bar, and that kind of will help the actual the adjustment. Alright, so what happens now? We're pretty much there now. So if you look here on the back on this roller here, you can now see on both sides of the roller, both sides of the belt, sorry, that a little bit of the roller is showing, and the same on the front. And what that is basically is that is in the correct position now. So now we've got it in the correct position. I'm quite happy that's tight enough. We need to lock off these locking nuts either side. Yours might be slightly different. You might have to put a spanner to it, but does the same job anyway. So we tighten them up, and then we have a nice new belt. Now, get rid of your cellulite and your corns. Now, this machine does come with a stop, but I don't use it. So let's grab a bit of wood and just show you what we can do with it. Well, that works, but sadly there's no dust extraction. But anyway, that is how I changed the belt of my little, in this case, Sealy combination belt sander and disc. And I hadn't done the disc, but I've done the belt. Anyway, thank you for watching. It was comment and click like and subscribe. Anyway, I better do some work.